wake up feeling like you really don't belong. You can't explain it, but when you close your eyes you see familiarity. Are you dreaming or on the edge of remembering? Will it be tomorrow? And where are you today? Damn good cake. I did well. It's not award winning. Matter of fact, if you knew what I was going for, you'd go, well, you fucked that up, didn't you? But actually, it's come out as something more unique and delicious. Oh, fresh banana sour cream cake. Heavy in egg, but a light bouncy, kind of a creamy consistency. Normally it would be something, if somebody hands me something that I look at that and I go, I'm gonna need a gallon of tea with that. But actually it's not, it doesn't need a lot of fluids with it. It's quite good. Now, banana cake, not banana bread. I waited years and years and years to see the re-release of banana cake. And it took Dolly Parton making it one of her favorite things to come back with a banana cake and a coconut cake. Those and the pineapple, they were ubiquitous to the cake mix aisle. I was very sad when they left, because you just can't turn banana bread mix into a satisfactory, light and airy banana cake. At least I don't know how. I should say that. There probably is a way with people who are really, really experienced. But once it calls for more flour being added, I'm lost. I need a measurement. I can't guess at that. Okay. I think fluid's too dry, but and these, of course, are all the rescued chocolate chips, which coincidentally are made without added sugar. So they're quite pleasant. They're sweet enough. Not bad. Yes, it is so rare that I have cake in the house. I made this for my neighbors, and all my favorite people got a piece, and everybody loved it. But I still ended up with 3 pieces to bring upstairs to keep for my very own. And I'm glad, because, like, I just got out of a meeting over health insurance things. Yummy, but hot. Health insurance things are, I can't say boring, because if you have questions in that area, then it's an important thing. But it's dry, you know, unlike my cake, which is quite moist. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. I will make this again. The secrets to my success. Okay, this is the first time I have not tried this yet. It's Duncan Hines. Dolly. It's a terrible picture of Dolly. At least they got the height of your hair. Okay. Coconut flavored cake mix and other natural flavor. Coconut. Interesting. So, now, I did not read the ingredient list before purchasing because I didn't want to disgust myself with what they are made of. I mean, it's usually very basic, but some things they throw in, like canola oil, and then less than 2% of propylene glycol mono and diesters. Why? That's usually a flavor thing, I believe, the esters. Xanthan gum, it's like, why xanthan gum? Why cellulose gum? Oh, a coconut blend. Coconut cream, coconut flour. Natural flavor. This is Conagra Brands out of Chicago, Illinois. Now this is a Betty Crocker Angel Food. This is just add water. I got way better than that. Don't add water, add a can of crushed pineapple in heavy syrup. And you throw the whole thing in and then pour it into an Angel Food pan. If you happen to have one, I don't. But you can also do it like this. The idea is, it's mostly egg white. Matter of fact, very much egg white. Lots and lots of egg white. And you have to cool it the right way. If you cool it upside down, then all the air, you know, the angel lightness, it will stay if you turn it upside down. But it's kind of like cotton candy in a way. It just starts to collapse from its own weight if it just sits there, and when it's warm, it just goes. So you don't want it to go in. Lean it on its side, like they have this loaf pan. I have done it in a large, like a half sheet pan, and just turn it on its side and have it balanced, and it's a pain in the ass, yes. But if you're ready to do that before you start, it's all right. Cools down, you get your maximum loft, and oh my goodness, with the pineapple in it, it is another creature altogether. I would cut it in half, little sheets, like a piece like that, a little square. Cut the center, and then put a big dollop of fresh made whipped cream in that. Oh my. Little toasted coconut on top. And it is like, it'll be hard to convince someone who is not an expert baker that you didn't spend hours making that. Oh, so good. Now this, it's really good, but if I was going to serve this company, I would probably make some kind of a oh, what do they call it? You make it out of fresh fruit. A little sauce out of fresh fruit. And just drizzle a little bit. Or, I don't know, even a lemon curd. Lemon and banana? Blueberry and banana. A strawberry too. In any case, a little fresh fruit wouldn't be bad. I recently did remember the word for what I'm trying to remember. I can't remember it now. You know this stuff they have in a squeeze bottle, they put it all over your plate and pop your cheesecake on top of it and then make some little squiggles on top of that. The squiggly stuff. Made out of fresh fruit. Welcome back, you. Becca there? I'm talking the cake mixes and, you know, while I'm eating. And the pineapple angel food cake that blows minds when served with a little whipped cream. It is so impressive. Well, they show it angel food with strawberry and raspberries. Sure, that's nice, but if you can actually get the pineapple bits in there, it's even better. Okay, so who makes this? Well, it's General Mills, distributed by Ask General Mills. General Mills contains bioengineered ingredients. Bioengineered ingredients. Let's see, what would that be in this? So corn, that's what it is. Cornstarch. Cornstarch is a corn crop in almost all of our, well, I think all of our commercial crops and corn that don't come off of a little local farm or GMO. The cupcakes. That is cool. How do you turn those upside down to cool? Well, I guess a cupcake can cool, if you get it out of a pan, it would cool fast enough. Interesting. But see, this makes me think of what I really want to do, which is make meringue. I want to play with meringue. I want to invent something with meringue. Something that's low calorie and I can eat a lot of it without it being a danger to myself. You know, like when you get the munchies. But I don't like to go very long on a salty thing or a sweet thing. And the sweetness of a meringue is completely up to the person making it. The problem that stands between me and a good meringue is a stand mixer. So I found one for under $200, significantly under $200, by $140. I put it in my wish list so I remember it. I'm going to work on attracting one of those. It's not KitchenAid, but it's gotten some good reviews. So it's like, all right, as long as the reviews stay good, I can use to save money. But I really want, and it's not too big either, but it's got everything I really want on a mixer. Like, it's got a guard so that you put the guard down and mixing, it doesn't end up everywhere. I like that. After what happened with my little ham mixer last month, and there was a lot of unnecessary cleaning in the middle of my project of baking a cake. So, this has been deliciously brought to you by my sometimes inept kitchen. So Dolly Parton, thank you for sponsoring. I don't know about the coconut yet. I haven't tried the coconut, but thank you for sponsoring the banana cakes. Return to the mix shelves. So, I do have to thank my stepmother for my funniest banana cake story. Although I think that probably comes more under marijuana eating unawares story. So I just spoke to a physical therapist in this meeting downstairs, and I asked him about the headaches that have been getting worse. And basically, I'm going to have to get an easel. But that does not answer everything, because a painting like this is not done on an easel, because I am putting wet down, and then the wet has to dry in place like a watercolor. So it can't be on an easel. Once it's dry, I can hang it on the wall. Alrighty. Tea. Now, before I go ahead with, where's the blue? Yeah, okay. I'm talking to myself. Ignore me. This is one of those moments when I am communicating in another world. Hey. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, here is an example. I just got dinged by someone who has been thinking of me and sending you a pic. Oh, it's you doing that one. Well, at the same time, the old president of my club, Sim City Club, just dinged me because I've been on her mind and she wanted to know how I was. Because I helped her through the loss of a few relatives and her husband getting in a near fatal bicycle accident, motorbike. And say, oh wow, guess even though we haven't physically spoken, we are still connected. Of course. You don't go through something like that with somebody without having a spiritual connection. See, I wish they could do something besides sweet and sour. So how do you like them? Are they both the same thing? They're different colored packages. I can't make that out. Let's see, let her know on Twitch. Twitch.tv. I hate when people are like all, oh damn, you have, I feel so bad, I haven't been in touch. Let it go, it's alright. Life goes on. We are busy people. I don't have time to be freaking guilty. Oh, it's changing my damn... Stop spell correcting, you stupid... Ugh. I've already added that. And now it's gonna give me a... I'm live and you just proved a point I've been making all week. I love her. She's my BFF, whom I've never met. My friend is proof that we exist beyond these bodies and we communicate. This is the cooperative. That's awesome. I'll take some fresh chili. She felt me talking to her. She's in upstate New York. Oh, no, come back to my channel. Okay, we need to get some blue in there, but that is a little more intense than I was actually intending for this first swipe. We have to get more water onto the planet. Right? I can't do two things at once at the moment. Sorry, my friend. I will get back in touch with you. When we are thinking of our friends, when we are thinking of our loved ones, whether they're on this side of the veil or not, they can communicate with us because our higher self is communicating with them. And if we want to speed up those communications and make them more definite, then you want to be in a good mood. You always want to feel good to transmit and receive. And in fact, and if you're not feeling good, you cannot receive that which you desire. You'll just get more stuff to reinforce a crappy mood or problems. Oh, my goodness, her son started listening to my book on the YouTube. He really likes it. He started reading it. I only got 2 chapters in, 2 sessions in. I'm glad he's reading it. It's a lot easier. She's got 2 little boys, and the older one is extremely ADD, but he's brilliant. It's like, oh, this kid is definitely special. He is going to need to be entertained with the above average kinds of things. He's got a very active mind. Didn't come up. Is there another? Hold on. Let's see. Let's go here. Oh. No. Oh, I lost the chat. Damn it. Come on. Hmm. Oh, yeah. Let's have a little bit more of that. That was. No bubbles. No, 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 no. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm not going to be able to move this for a bit. But if I want that depth there, we gotta have it. Hmm. So I want it to be a bit like the space is coming into the area. Okay. All right. Greetings. Oh, okay. Now you have to do this here because I won't be able to keep both windows open at the same time. Sorry, my Wi-Fi keeps freezing. Must be the heat. Oh. Damn. How bad is it out there? So this is a 12 by 16, no, 16 by 20 canvas. I am doing a larger version of another abstract that I have up on the wall. I'll show you. 84. Whoa. I don't like that. Oh, that color is gorgeous, but I'm going to puddle here. It's just going to have to dry. I don't want to lose that intensity right there. Oh, but we got that nice green coming through too. Oh, all right, let's spread you out a little bit. All right, BFF is here. She can't talk yet because she's new. So I'll just entertain you while you are waiting to talk and say hello. All right. this painting with the gold leaf is a technique that nobody else is using, at least yet. Everybody's doing texturing and layering and stuff, but I'm trying to emulate oil paint with acrylic because I love the depth of color you can achieve with layers of oil, but you can't get it. You can do it in watercolors when you have washes, and build up color, but this is like, it's got more of the oil kind of an effect because you can bring the color up from behind because I'm using a resist. And the resist is also three-dimensional, so I can get other effects. So after each stage it has to dry, and then I can put more stuff on, and I squirt it all over the place, but then I have to work it with the palette the way I want it. So at the last step is doing the gold leaf because this cannot be touched with water base. It'll turn, it oxidizes and goes green on you. And if you're really unlucky, it goes black. So it's black and gold. It looks weird. Sometimes it just turns it kind of like an antique gold, they call it. And that's not that bad, but I don't, so this is like the last stage, and then nothing goes on top of it. Whatever, I put the stuff, the sizing on the bottom, stick it, and whatever does not stick, I brush off. So I don't have to worry about people touching it or anything. It's not gonna, I did a pretty good job, I think, of getting everything off. The thing was, when I did this, I wasn't sure, well, I always forget about my signature, so I actually signed it on the bottom. But I love doing things like this. This is one of my favorite kinds of weird things. This represents the earth here, kind of squashed. Well, we were trying to decide what we want to look like, what we want to do. This is kind of like a prototype because the next version I want is going to be about 4 by 3 feet. And there's going to be like these, there's going to be 3 more on the bottom with kind of various shapes, but like with kind of like the idea of closed eyes, like they're, or hollow, like they were masks. Like you have to try on 1,000 faces before you find your own. That's a Chinese proverb. A man must try on 1,000 faces before he finds which is his own, something like that. Of course, I'm equal opportunity, so I don't see a man. Okay, let me wash this off and get some clean water. Oh, actually, don't need it at the moment, except for that one. Oh, nice stain on this. This is phthalo blue. In the background, the ink though is supposed to be just a regular blue, but it is very, very staining. I'll be right back. Oh, you know what? Ha ha! I have a captive audience with you, BFF. I'm gonna play my song. This is my, it's me. I'm showing off now. This is a song I wrote for the first book. This is The Edge of Remembering. I woke up feeling like I really don't belong. I can't explain it. When I close my eyes, I see a strange reality. Am I dreaming? Or on the edge of remembering? wake up feeling like you really don't belong. You can't explain it, but when you close your eyes you see familiarity. Are you dreaming, or on the edge of remembrance? I guess we're almost at the 10 minutes where you can talk like a normal person. That's our anti-troll device. I actually very rarely have a troll issue unless I start talking politics. I try to avoid that. Why aggravate myself? But yeah, that's good. Okay. It's going to take a while to build up some of the layers, because after this dries, we put on more of the resin to freeze these colors where they are, make another layer, and then the layers, because they're transparent, let in more light, as if it was an oil paint. So it's really killer when it's done. I got one over here. I finished this last week. I finished it off. Now, BFF, you are in the country enough, and we both have a great appreciation for the country. So you know what it's like when the really awesome sun going down across a field, and you see all the shadows, and at a time of year when things just look purple, even though there's no actual purple in the field. So this was an experiment with mediums. I put all the pattern on the canvas before I did any paint, and then I did the sky and the trees, and then I used different strokes to do this. And I had so much fun with this sunset. It just fell in love with it, and after a while I just needed to try again, but with a different, from a different angle, if you know what I mean, because I didn't want to do two of the same thing. So I came up with the idea of this, a little more extreme, but this is called Sunset on the River, where everything is just like catching fire, but the river doesn't have the same texture as the sky, so it's just it's really intense when, wait a second, I've got my song up there. Yeah, close up, the river is so intense and beautiful. It's got so many purples in it, which right now, sorry, I didn't mean to make that sound. It's really, there we go. Now I sent a copy of this to one of my friends, and as a matter of fact, BFF, she's the friend that looks like you. Looks like the two of you could be sisters. Not funny. So I sent her this picture, and she was enlarging it, and she decided that this is really sunset after the Mardi Gras because she can see a couple of masks, like masks floating in the water. And it's like, wow, she sees a lot of stuff. She really looks into the painting, which of course, I dig. So, yeah, so it's sunset in the river after Mardi Gras. And I hope there's a river down there where they have Mardi Gras, or I'll look really stupid. Not everything is intense, though. I made these lilies with a peel from a mandarin orange. I just opened it up like a flower, and the center of it was the center there, and I put it on acrylic paint and then squashed it down on the canvas. And this was leftover paint. It's just like, well, what am I going to do with the leftover paint? Now, even though I left it like this, I guess it really isn't done, even though I signed it. So I don't know what'll come next for it, but eventually. I just like it because it was made with a fresh orange peel. But my BFF, this is what I've been teaching people about. It's a painting, but it's called, oh damn it, like this, what do I call this? Cooperating components. Cooperating components. That's how we talk to each other when we're not in our bodies. See, this is me. I represented me with the heart chakra colors. But that's the real me. This is just my projection. That's my human me. And I drop my skin, I go right back to being me. But the thing is, I never stop being me, and neither do you. Nobody does. So all of us are like this, and the faces that are talking on here are like that. So we have all these connections ready to help manipulate the universe to follow our directions. And I don't mean like orders, but we feel our way. Our feelings are creating our realities. And so when I decided I was going to New York, I started talking to you. I was like, all right, BFF, how far are you from New York City? How could you get to New York City? There's no way I could get up to where you are if I'm in New York City, because I'm not going to have that much money, and I'm not going to have any transportation. I'm taking a train in. So, yes, I've been thinking about you because I would love to be able to see you when I'm actually going to be closer. Because right now in Connecticut, I think it's a lot more difficult for us to meet. But I don't know. You know New York City or know how to get there, and I do not know anything else. It's been... The last time I just walked around the city was like 1972 or 73. It's been a long time since I, toured Greenwich Village like a native. Now it's just in, do what I gotta do, and then out. And this time I'm going in for a hot pastrami sandwich, and also to say hello and goodbye to a few people that I'm probably never going to see again. So I want to go and do that. So these are us. All of us have these. All of us have our networks that we can't see because, some of them are dead to us, but they're not dead. They're part of everything that never dies, just like us. So when we withdraw from our humanness, the other humans grieve, but the rest of us are going, hey, you had a good time, didn't you? Or, ha ha ha, you fucked up. We love you. Come on, let's go party. It's cool. All right, we know there's no punishment for anything because everything we do here is exactly what we do here for us in any way we want to do it. I know it's a hard concept for people stuck in religions, but we're forever. We're forever and forever and forever. And we never get everything we want to do done, which is something I'm trying to come to grips with myself, because, you know, every time you are human, you get into things and you don't want to leave. I mean, unless you're in a great deal of pain, then it's like, yeah, just let me go home, fuck it. But most of us have things, you know, family, loved ones, projects, and we don't want to just stop. Nobody does. But no matter how long we stay here, it's always brief, because when you're immortal, a lifespan here is... But we do like coming here to slow things down, examine them more closely. We're expanding. Trish! Hey, baby. I love Grand Central. All right, when I am ready to make the journey, I will let you know in time for you to see what you can do on your end. Because I'm going to get the train in New London, Connecticut, that goes straight into the city. I think it goes to Penn, but then it's just a shuttle over to Grand. I'm going in there for a sandwich, man. Sandwich that was $2.75 when I last ate it. It's now $40 if I want the whole sandwich. I'll be getting a half. But I've missed you. But yes, don't you think we need to meet at least once on this side? I know we're friends on the other. Oh, you wouldn't have heard me. But actually, everybody I connect with on a regular basis is part of the, yeah, honey, I'm getting a hot pastrami on rye with coleslaw and a little bit of mustard and some Thousand Island dressing. The old-fashioned way, where they make them like 6 inches thick, and it's a whole meal. There's no way I'm not getting one. That's the purpose. Number one, purpose for going into the city. And actually the second purpose is I'm gonna spend some time and stay at my brother. My brother, I did not meet him. He's my stepbrother. I did not meet him until literally the day of my mother's funeral 2 years ago this month. And he and his husband like came to my rescue. They saw me standing there alone right next to the grave, and everybody else is way behind me, and they just came out from the rest of and they just put their arms around me. I am totally in love with them. They're also artists, writers, and musicians, songwriters. We got so much work to do. I was working on a musical during COVID. Well, you don't know the whole history because I didn't want to give you all the shit I was going through. But I was in the hospital with a cardiomyopathy that stemmed from the shock, Takotsubo. And so I was in the hospital. An old friend of mine called my 10th day there, and it was October, so Ghostbusters was on. And my friend is starting to get morbid about me being in the hospital, and I'm saying, I am getting better. I'm getting out of here in a couple of days. But she was going down emotionally, and I was like, oh look, it's Rick Moranis is on TV. I love that guy. I said it exactly like I just told you now. I swear. And she's got to be one of our friends on the other side, because when we get there, I'm killing her. So she started this thing with Rick Moranis. He's got to be your soulmate. This is your last chance for love. And it's like, whoa. I'm not looking for love. I'm in the hospital. Well, don't tell him that. What do you mean, don't tell him? Write to him or I will. Okay? This conversation was so insane. I wrote it down verbatim and turned it into a song. And that got me going. So I started writing because for 6 months I had to take it easy while I was on warfarin. So every night I sat in bed and I wrote I was writing a thank you letter. I actually fell in love with him like a fangirl. Oh my God, right? 65, major, mega, first time ever felt a crush like that. I was like, I have to meet him. I have to meet Rick Moranis. I have to. Not because of Ghostbusters or what he was like when he was a young man. It was his lyrics. It turned out my girlfriend was like so into getting me together. She kept sending me links that led to info on him. And I didn't know shit about him because even though I liked him as an actor, it just didn't occur to me to go like look into his life. Where is Rick Moranis now? Well, I ended up doing that after she sent me all this other stuff. What I discovered was he wrote 2 albums, and he had musicians helping him, but he plays the guitar. He sings, obviously. Little House of Horrors, Little Shop of Horrors, whatever. I read his lyrics, and I fell in love. He wrote something called My Mother's Brisket and other love songs. And it turns out when I did go reading these lyrics, I was like, holy shit, we had the same life. Turns out he's only a year older than me. So that did not help. And I wrote a song called Fangirl. I wrote 8.5 songs. And all of this for an idea that I was hoping to propose to him. And because it was lockdown and you don't want to go out, but I thought of this awesome idea that both of us could do that would definitely put him right back square in the public eye without having to shrink anything. And because the movie that he's supposed to be in, I don't know if it's gone through, but good. So I'm totally nuts over this guy, right? So I started writing letters to him every night, but not to mail. What happened was I spent 6 months doing this. I got all these songs out of it, some really good lyrics, a couple of songs that are like very commercially viable, and some of stuff's just for comedic value, like if I was doing a musical, and the musical is called Dear Rick Moranis, or My 6 Months on Warfarin. I swear the Warfarin was like an aphrodisiac for the brain. I was so inspired while I was on Warfarin, and when I went off it, it went away. So that's why I think there was something about the Warfarin that did something to me. Also, I fell in love with him, and I was like insane. But song number 8 is just an instrumental, and I started writing lyrics to it, but even though I had the crush, I wasn't doing anything romantic. All right, these fantasies were like bumping into each other and sharing a sandwich at Katz's, but nothing like anything, overtly romantic. But then in that song number 8, which I call To Love Again, but I did it in French, it has no words, because when I started writing the words, he ended up kissing me, and I went, okay, we're done. No more, no. We're not having that kind of a crush on a complete stranger. You cannot be in love with a stranger. That is a child's thing. That is insane. So I had to cool it, and I actually, by accident, I guess maybe subconsciously, not accidentally, I deleted it. I accidentally wiped out most of the lyrics, all the good parts that really worked. It was actually, I could have kept that for a movie scene. It was perfect. Well then, okay, I sent a letter with my ideas, but I didn't want to give it all away in a letter because I don't trust anybody. And I especially don't trust agents. So I sent some song lyrics, a basic idea, and my thank you letter, because it was mostly like to thank you for all of the inspiration. I have not been this turned on to write in years. I mean, since Nomaris, actually, the first Nomaris. Because after that, my life kind of turned a little hellish. And then, divorce and all that other fun stuff. So it was so inspiring. And because I was so into it, I healed really well. I mean, perfectly. Excuse me. So, yeah, you go through enough and you're just depleted. And that gave me the opportunity to stay in bed, go to bed at a really early hour and sit there so I could write, and then I would fall asleep. There were nights I would go, Dear Rick Moranis, I just want to say thing, and my finger actually would make lines like gone. He became like my sleep response, but then I had like no anxiety, no stress. I just conked out, had good dreams, woke up the next day ready to come up with some more ideas. But I never heard back, and then finally, I sent I didn't have a printer at the time, so my first time I sent the letter, I sent it to his agent who had two addresses, East Coast, West Coast, so I sent one copy to each. Problem was, I used an online service that prints it for you, and when I saw what it looks like, I went, oh shit. Then they wouldn't even open this. It looks like a bill. You know, the glassine envelope thing, the to and the from. It's like, no, that looks like a bill. It looks just like a bill. So I made when I got a printer, I did it again. Only this time I made a printed out of a cute little envelope that I made some like doodle art on, and I used a prettier stationery, you know, and then sent that out to both coasts. And then, I don't know, I waited, 6 months or so, and then I learned that, it's his birthday next week or 2 weeks ahead. So I decided, all right, last chance. I really want this man, because what happened was I wrote song number 9. 9 is a duet, a male-female duet, and it's super important because it's going to be reprised at the end of the musical. This is where there's a man who is helping me figure out a way to reach Rick Moranis, right? Now she's singing about how she wishes he was Rick Moranis, and he's singing, I wish he would notice that I'm not Rick Moranis and I really love her. Kind of things like he falls in love with her, but she doesn't really notice him because she's wishing for Rick Moranis, but Rick Moranis isn't anywhere around, of course, because he's a friggin' star who doesn't just randomly talk to people. I mean, I don't know. I've never met him. So it was funny, it was sweet, it was cute, and I thought this would be a really good plot. And I really need his help. I cannot do a duet. I couldn't come up with the lyrics. Everything else was child's play compared to this one. So I sent him a Love Pop card, you know, like a $24 open it and see a bouquet, it's sunshine kind of thing. Thank you. This time I found an old address near Central Park, and I decided, fuck it. I'm in this far. I don't know how else. He's a star. He's insulated. You just can't walk up to him like he's anybody. So the card said, okay. Dear Rick Moranis, happy birthday. Would you marry me? No? Okay, then how about helping me finish a song? I need your lyrics. Love, or warmly, or warm regards, something like that. And my phone number. Of course, I never heard from him, but it didn't come back. It was sent to a private address and it was not returned. So I figure somebody opened it. Or it's still somewhere floating around Toronto. I don't know. Right? I still think that if he would hear me out, I think he might enjoy the idea that I had, and still would do if he was willing, because I think it has, first of all, very original. It's a very original idea. I still have not seen it done, even through COVID when then people were writing freaking musicals. Not what I had in mind. Like, we could do something very unique here if you want to do it, and you don't even have to leave the comfort of your home. Because I was thinking COVID, you know, long distance. Like, I'm not going out. I'm not going back and forth to wherever he is. And I'm sure he's not in the mood either. So yeah, I had all these great ideas, but they didn't get a chance to pan out. But I did write some good music, and I'm proud of the music I wrote. Oh, aww. Okay, one of my neighbors, yeah, he doesn't even have to marry me, right? He doesn't have to. Besides, that was another idea that his agent and he, because he's kind of, on one hand, he's kind of tired of being single. And on the other hand, they're looking for something that will be fun, but also safe, and something for publicity. And he's not a publicity hound, so it's not an idea I would ever fly by him. But one where they say, well, we can just go ahead and marry her just as a stunt, as funny, and we'll have a divorce paper and a prenup ready to go anyway. So it might be fun. Right? Well, when you start fantasizing and you're writing these things down, you come up with all kinds of weird things. I have the most amazing, I wrote tons, like I said, for 6 months. Every night I was writing ideas for how we might accidentally bump into each other in New York City. Well, because I don't have a passport, I can't get up to Toronto. So he's got to be in New York at the time. And there's no way I would ever know if he was in New York, because again, he's a very private person, and I really respect him for that. At my mother's, what do they call it? When you sit Shiva? After my mom died, we all went back to my niece's house for food and memory sharing and all that. And I had my Rick Moranis bag, which I can stick a lot of things in, so I like having that. It was a gift. Anything Rick Moranis I have was a present from a friend who knows how I felt about Rick Moranis. So I got a little doll. I have a bag that has Moranis on it, and there's him wearing a tuxedo. It's so cute. That's all right, honey. I think you were going through enough 2 years ago. She had dementia. It was a rough end, but she went into a coma, and she had a stroke and then went into a coma, and so she had no idea. But yes, we got it across to her at the end. But thank you. Yeah, I feel if my mother would love it if I could get together with a nice Jewish boy like that. I'm sure my grandmother would love it, except they're not there here anymore, and they're not Jewish anymore either. So, yeah. He just seems like a really good person. When I started reading his lyrics, I felt so simpatico. I was like, oh my God, he wanted to be Alan Sherman. So did I. So basically we were living a similar life, going to Hebrew school at the same time, but he was doing it in Toronto, I was doing it in Yonkers. When he started having his, getting involved with his career, that was when I was starting mine. I was out there, and people were saying, you need to go to Toronto, you need to go to Toronto. And if I'd actually made it to Toronto at that time, I would have met him. Oh yeah, Mom's fine. Well, see, this is what I'm saying, is that's what this is. You see. This is the spirit view. We're entities. We're not separate quite like this, but we are very connected. Everyone is connected. So if I'm here right now, but this me was thinking of you. So this me, the bigger one, went over here and here, and then the message gets passed along, and it's like, there you are. Oh, okay, well, here you go. I'll call you. We are all connected. Anybody who is regularly on my show, baby, you're one of my family members. Or you've been a family member. So we're connected, all right? We can't get disconnected. It's just this, when we're here, we're disconnected, so we can go ahead and experience what we came here to experience, although we usually fuck up pretty young. And then we have to learn how to be happy. Learning to be happy is everything. You have to be happy. If you're not happy, you're not creating what you need. You're not going to be in line for those synchronicities to meet up with you, because you're not going to be open for them. your vibration is going to be too low. So happiness is, it's essential that that be a priority, the number one priority. We're not here to do a lot of things that we're brought up thinking we're supposed to be doing. For service, that's something that's misunderstood constantly, because we believe that in giving service to all that is, the source, the creator, in doing service or giving service, that we are having to suffer or surrender something, or mostly suffer, work super hard. But that is actually the opposite. When you are connected with spirit, you are elevated, and things happen, they flow, they move into each other because we're all connected. When you're out of your own way, things happen fast. Time gets compressed. For humans, we have linear time. For our real selves, no. We don't have time. We have it all at once. Yeah. You have to reconnect with yourself. Your inner being is always telling you. If you're feeling down, you're not connected. When you feel up, you're guided, you get clarity, you're inspired. So we can find ourselves in all kinds of bizarre situations, but no matter how it looks on the outside, if you keep looking at what you don't like, you're going to keep recreating it over and over. You have to change your attention to something you like better, to something that feels good to think about, something you desire for the future. And as long as you're looking forward or facing forward, you're not wasting energy looking behind you, because what's behind you does not matter. Abraham Hicks is a good one to listen to on YouTube. I listen to Abraham Hicks because it's like talking to myself. I've been talking to what we call Abraham since I was somewhere between 3 and 4 years old, where they started showing me. And then when I was 12, the voices went real loud. Oh, I always do. I have lots of accents, darling. I love them. I started doing that at the Renaissance Fair so that I could sound, and play fair and fit in. And after that, it just got easier and easier to get involved with, Sometimes I like to talk like a Romanian, like I'm going to be doing the cards for you and looking at a crystal ball. So, and then, of course, being a New Yorker, all I have to do is listen to somebody from New York and it comes right back. I worked that out for years so I could sing without an accent, except for coffee, the word coffee, and shawl. I could fool people, but I have never mastered coffee and shawl. Dead giveaways. But it's all for fun. Also, I studied French for 4 years. Can't speak more than 3 words, but I was really a stickler for the accent because my teacher was, and I really wanted to please her. So I practiced that until I was dreaming in French to get the accent right. And I pleased her. So bravo me. Unfortunately, moi cannot retain shit. Ma is going to move the painting over to a drying area where hopefully a breeze will reach at, because right now it's getting warm over here. Come, breeze. So yeah, I have been having a blast since I moved here. Oh, which ones? I did, I have working on a series of angels. I'll show you the other 2 angels. They're hanging up now. Oh, one's right here. This is the first one. Angel emerging from the dark. Thank you. I'm quite fond of it. I don't do the angels unless I feel the energy and feel really inspired. Thank you. Yeah, I love it. So I'm gonna have prints made. Not print. I'm not. No, not. Let me change that. I'm getting the images made, the scans made as soon as I can afford to start doing that at Staples, and then use them to upload to like Zazzle and Fine Art America, where I keep copies of all my paintings. So then people can go there and buy whatever they want and use my images. Then I can sell the originals. Well, some of the originals. And let me show you the second one. Jeez, over here. Ta-da! Energy, angel collecting light. A bit more dynamic. So this was number 2. And then blue was number 3. And 4, I've got the background, but I haven't done the angels yet. I'm trying to do 2 angels on that. Go back up. Yeah. Try not to fall. Oh. This one or this one? This is gonna be, I'm hoping I can, oh right, Charlie. Yay. How do you feel after that drive? Oh shit. Uh-oh. Well, looks like you're buying a new one. Oh, good. Yeah, 3-hour drives are a little too much for me. So, BFF, this is the next one, and this is also a next one. Oh, well, Charlie, there are things you can do, like use a little piece of a cotton rag and some water and toothpaste, and that actually can work as good as bristles for the night. The ones that's orange, with all the oranges, the really dynamic one. That one is nowhere near done. I took a completely different approach for this one. Oh, cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed painting that one. A lot of light. And then this one, though, it felt really good. So, yeah, like I said, I'm really enjoying this. I've been invited to put my work into a local gallery next year for a showing. Yeah, it's hard to have a favorite sometimes. I just like them all because I made them, I guess. And they're all a different, well, I have to be, like I said, I have to be in the right vibration to even do an angel, because I like them to flow, and you only really, because I paint thickly with that, I don't have opportunity to do it over, because if you cover it because you messed it up, you really have to just start over. Should I do the DM thing with Polish guy? Ow! Not tonight. I still think that's funny. Oh, he'll ban you. Oh, I don't know. You're going to bed now, right? So Trish, yeah, I'm psyched. It's a small gallery, but it's kind of an historic building, Warregan Hotel, There's a gallery downstairs. It's been there for years, and it's right in the middle of town. So, like, yeah. Well, as I said, do it. Look, I studied dental assisting. Get a piece of cotton, a little rag that's clean, and you wet it. Actually, it works better if it's dry. And you rub your teeth, and then use some mouthwash, and you'll be fine. And I do get that, because, the bedtime one is the best. I like clean mouth. Does anybody have any gargle or mouthwash there? No, he's at his grandmother's house, 3 hours away from his usual house. Hey, Charlie, this is Trish. Trish, this is Charlie. He was a 17, almost 18-year-old in Portugal. And Trish is my BFF in upstate New York. Oh, don't say ain't, you know better. You have perfect English. He's a little goth. Yeah, he's screwed. Unless he wants to be innovative. I don't know how innovative 17-year-olds are. Oh, Trish. I told you about Biscuit. You probably don't remember, but that was my baby. My baby Biscuit. Someone had pity on me, took the picture from Facebook and made me a tile. Okay, Charlie. That is Michael's Sword and Shield. Well, in this case, it's Bisquit. Because he was so cute. And this is just an abstract I had to call done. I was just done. I call it Another Rainy Day. Because it's so green out there. And this is a splash painting. I have leftover paint from another painting, and I can't waste it because I hate wasting paint. So I get another piece of canvas or whatever and create with it. So that's, this is a splash painting. That's just, leftover paint. Oh. Oh. Baby bee. Well, that's wonderful. Yeah, you have a lot of catching up to do with me. So this new job, is this something that you like better than the last one? Aw, he's husky. I can't, well, I could have an animal here, but I'm on the 6th floor. My apartment is literally the furthest away from the elevator. I have to give them a $300 down payment to have even a hamster. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I have a robot cat. His name is Duracell. Oh, really? Good, you got it. He purrs. He purrs. And he's orange and white like my last cat, Manushka. So, although, see, this is actually my inheritance from my mother. These are opals. And while I was down in Florida visiting her, which turned out for the last time, she surprised me, and I accidentally, in my rush, put my finger right through it, and I had to have it restrung, which I just had done last month. I had to make it just a little longer so I can pull it over my head. And it turns out my sister Diana originally strung this for them. My mom saw this at a jewelry store or something, and she fell in love with it, but it was very, very, very expensive, like 13 grand. And Harvey said, we can't afford that. But another way is to, let's see if we can get a string of opals, and we'll have it turned into a necklace. Yeah. Well, it's funny, the first time I saw it and she held it up, I guess because of the lighting in the room, they looked brown. I thought this was a brown necklace, but she said the word opals, and I said, check, please. I'll take that. Leave that to me, Mom. Well, I was going to leave it to my granddaughter, one of my granddaughters or something. I was like, oh, all right. I definitely was never going to be the kind of person that argued over items. But when I saw her, she wanted to give it to me, and I was like, this I really want, thank you. So it's mine. And they are absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous match set. But significantly less than 13 grand. Oh, well, I was right there with her. It was easy to think of me. She could still remember me. She didn't have Alzheimer's. She had what is it called? Lewy syndrome. Is it Lewy body syndrome? Something like that. I can't remember the word now. I just got tested. I'm getting older, but I'm fine that way. I'm so glad to see you, Trish. Agnes is, I don't know where she is. I think it's Lewy body, L-E-W-Y, Lewy body syndrome. It's some proteins that just build up in the brain, but not the Alzheimer's type. It's a horrible thing watching that take over someone you love and watching them forget you. When I was down there, to help my sister find a assisted living facility for them to move into. Our stepfather did not need it. He's still kicking, and he's in one, but he doesn't have a bunch of extra help, and he walks around the corner, I think a 5-minute walk to his son and daughter-in-law. But Mom was going, as soon as she moved to Florida, it started going downhill. I knew they never should have moved down there. That's it. Yeah. And it's terrible, you know. I mean, she was accusing her husband of infidelity with an 18-year-old, and somehow it was happening after they went to sleep at 9 p.m. and he was home before they had to get up at 6 in the morning. And he decided that she thought he was having an affair with his daughter-in-law's mother, but she was hours away at the time. It's like, so Mom, are you saying that he's getting up after you both go to sleep together at 9 and he's disappearing, he's driving 3 hours away, having an affair, and then driving 3 hours to get back in bed with you before you wake up in the morning? Oh, God. It is tough. Well, I know he took the loss terribly. Yeah. Oh, he's 91 now. He's 91. His birthday's New Year's Eve. Mom left at 89. So yeah, this month makes 2 years. She left us on July 26th. Now here's another one into art. So, unfortunately, the kind of artists that he's got connections with are not the kind of people that can do anything for my kind of art. If I was doing, wow. I'm sorry, Trish. But we just have to remember who we really are. We withdraw from this world, this heavy dimension, and we enjoy it. It's freedom. It's back to what we are. We like it. We come here to play. And when the play runs out, it's like, well, fuck this. Let's go. I'll come back. Start over. Although that is a drag because you have to learn how to be human all over again. Yeah. I mean, when you can no longer do the things that please you, you're not finding pleasure in being alive anymore. I was talking to my aunt. She's 91 too. She was my mother's best friend, and growing up. So she's my Aunt Rosie. And Aunt Rosie, I said, "Well, don't worry. You're going to outlive everybody. You're going to be here another decade." And she said, "No, God, no. I don't want to be here another 10 years." And that's a lot of people who live here. They're just waiting for themselves to just leave, and they don't have any motivation. They're not healthy. They're never going to change. I mean, there's no time left for them to make the massive changes necessary to gain health. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like some of these people are massive, and they're not able to do very much, and they can't get a grip at this point. They're like 70, 80 years old. What are they going to do? It's amazing that they made it that late in life. But when we talk about increasing our longevity and doing things to improve our physicality, they're not anywhere around. They don't want to hear about it. They just want, oh, please, I don't want to do this. I don't want to die. I just want to go. Like, if you really want to go, then why do you call the doctor when you feel like you might be having a heart attack? Why don't you just say, okay, I'm out of here. I guess it's just an instinct, you know? The body wants, we don't want to let go. It's important to know. It's not something that we enjoy talking about because it makes us think about our own mortality, and we don't want to grieve the loss of people we love. That's the bottom line. We don't want to let go of them, no matter what condition they're in. But a young fan of the show in the Netherlands, she had to deal with that because her father had a really aggressive form of AL. He was in agony, and there they have voluntary euthanasia in these kinds of situations where they make it extremely humane. The doctor comes to your house, you know, everything is made ready, and you have time to say goodbye to your family. But by the time he was saying, okay, let's do this, he was in so much pain that I think they felt like we didn't get enough of a goodbye, you know? It's like, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I would rather know. So, I recently learned that we can be composted. You know what I want? Composting. Do not cremate me and make me into smoke. No. Then you got a bunch of bones and ash you got to deal with. And I don't want to leave that to anybody. That's morbid. And you're not allowed to just throw it in the air or in the water. So, you know. And I don't want it buried. So you got it? Yeah, I figured that was a substitute. First, I saw that where you can become a tree, and I thought, that's me. And then it was like, well, I don't know where I can do that, but then I've got to have a plot of land somewhere. Someone's going to plant me. And as far as I know, nobody in my family owns land at the moment. Everybody's renting things. So it's like, well, you know, plant for the next generations. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's beautiful. That's like being on Nomaris. That's like being on Nomaris under a Simca tree. I modeled the Simca trees on the cherry trees. That's a beautiful idea. I figure now that I know it can be composted, you can split that up and everybody can put you in their plants if they want. It doesn't smell. I want to nourish something in my death, not suck up somebody's land and have people have to pay for it, and monuments and all that stuff that goes with the rituals that I just don't believe in anyway. Yeah, spread you around. Exactly. Feed it, right? See, we're still on the same page. Most people don't even want to talk about it. You know, like they're going to live forever. But who wants to live forever? Like I tell people, it's like, I'm not in a rush. Believe me, I'm going to fight for my life. On the other hand, the thought of going through more series of biopsies and surgeries, and it's like recoveries from those things. It's like, fuck it. Aloha. What does that mean, me? Is that how you want to be handled after you die? Composted? Or live forever? Well, you already live forever. Your body doesn't. Why would you want this body to live forever? It rots. It's going to rot on your bones eventually if you don't go. You're just a projection of the bigger you. So if you're not happy now, why would you want forever being unhappy? Or do you think being forever in this body is going to give you a chance to learn how to be happy? I may miss out on something. What? What are you missing out on right now? Body's just alone, exactly. It's a temporary assemblage of cooperative components. That's it. The cells have limited time, our DNA has limited time, everything is limited. You can't miss out on anything. Just because you drop the body doesn't make you less aware of what's going on here. You can see everything just like our friends can. I mean, you and I are friends on the other side. Trish, by the way, is my BFF. We already know that we're friends on the other side, and we've never met in the flesh. But we're totally simpatico. That's right. Even the planets are limited, but everything is governed by the law of attraction. That's what magnetism is. It's attraction. You cannot break these laws. And they just have different vibrational adjustments for all the different vibrations, but it still is all the same. It all works by attraction, and your emotions, our emotions, that is our point of attraction as long as we are in the third dimension. That's what creates. That's why we want to pay attention to our feelings. Whatever you're feeling is telling you exactly how much in alignment you are or aren't. Well, what did your doctor say? You went and saw that new doctor yesterday. How did it go? And it's not the brain. The brain is not separate from you. You and your brain are the same. Oh, there you are, Trish. The brain is not a separate entity. It is part of you. You can't take it out and live. You can't silence it and live. When it's silent, you're dead. So you start arguing with yourself, then it's up to you to say, oh, look, I'm arguing with myself. I have to stop it. I think that would be a wonderful idea. You need something to love you back. So just tell the universe you need a cat, and don't go looking. They come and find you. You know that. A cat will find you. You will see something that needs rescuing. You'll know the moment, Maui. Just let it happen. Don't force it. Oh, yeah. I love cats. I love cats. I love dogs. I love animals. Anybody you adopt is going to love you to pieces, even a mouse. Mice and rats are affectionate. They actually form loving bonds with humans and other animals. So I thought gerbils and hamsters did too, but apparently they don't. They just love being petted and fed, but they don't actually feel love for their humans. Agnes! So, Maui, I'll send you a cat. I'll send you a cat. And then, well, in the meantime, why don't you look into there's a senior program. You are a senior. How'd you do that, Pee-pee? Oh, you're not a cat whore. All you gotta do is feel. Sit down for a few minutes and imagine you're rescuing or loving another cat. Like, when you make this void, the void must be filled. The universe hates a void. It will not allow a void to exist. So when you say, I want a cat, I want a kitten, I want, and feel it, feel what it would feel like. How would you feel if you suddenly got a kitten in your hands? Close your eyes and imagine you have a soft, warm kitten meowing. It's hungry. It needs affection. It needs food. You want something, you have to ask with your feelings, with your gut, not the brain. Brain is just a tool. Stop getting pissed off with it for doing what it's made to do. Oh, awesome. Yes, Trish. Thank you so much for waiting through the 10 minutes to get in here and talk. I love you. And yes, we will talk soon. Ooh, spaghetti. And forever. Now, Lank, I don't know if you were able to hear that Trish and I were talking on the other side, and she contacted me through Messenger. She proved my point. We're talking to each other in the background. We're talking and we're working together all the time. Not just... That's why when you really need something, it can appear. Because your needs are known. You can't want something without it being known. Your feelings give away everything. And you are supported on the other side. Well, I'm calling it the other side, Charlie, because a lot of people are familiar with that term. It's not ominous at all. It's just a different vibration. It's the higher vibration. That's why you use Star Trek usually as an illustration. When those guys got drugged and they sped up, and every time they tried to talk to someone, it sounded like buzzing in their ears because they were a higher vibration. So that's what it is. So when we let go of our bodies, we're no longer held into the third dimension, which is kind of heavy, and we go up. Now, I don't know what the dimension is. I don't even know if it has a name. It's not, I don't know that, but yes, exactly. We vibrate, everything vibrates. So the higher vibration is a higher note, a sound. It's faster than what we are vibrating at here. So if we were able to speed up our vibrations, in a way we do, when we are very, very happy, when we're extremely happy, and we feel buoyant and feel like giggly, laughing, that kind of a feeling, when you're like that, your vibe is about as high as you can get as a human. And when that happens, if you can sustain that, you can invite lots of stuff in that you will be really happy to see, because everything that you want is waiting for you to keep in that state for a while. Rational thoughts, what I'm going through here on the island. It gave me crazy things that happened to him at his workplace. Oh, sounds awesome. So, how did you feel when you left? Because that was only your first meeting. Crazy things happen to all of us. Shit happens everywhere. We can't avoid that. We have to learn to not attract it as much. Because just because the crazy things happen, right? Good. So when do you see him again? Are you going to be able to see him like once a week? Or once every 2 weeks? Once a month? It does. That's so true. Shit happens. Stuff you have zero control over. All you can do is act, react without, emotionally, without thinking, or you can look at it, observe it, and then respond instead of react. So good. Awesome. I hope you like him enough to give him a try for a while. Consistency is key to everything. Yes, we observe. It's better to sit back and observe before choosing how you want to respond. Feeling things out, of course. Well, it sounds like you need something for your own, and it sounds like a cat. So let's figure, you have everything you need right now, yes or no? You've made sure that everywhere your cat is now disinfected, so if she was carrying anything, it would not be transferred to another feline. All right, then, open your heart for it, honey. It'll come. Cats are always looking for the spirit. They pick us out. Those are always the best matches. When they find you, they walk up to you. You got a match. And then, look, you want something to love. It's going to love you unconditionally. So, and unconditionally just means you don't have to wait for the certain circumstances. Those are the conditions. It doesn't mean loving someone who's an asshole, or loving a crazy cat that's totally out of control all the time. No, that's not the same thing. Yeah, well, you don't have to be too patient. If you decide that you want to rescue a cat or a kitten, see it in your head, you'll probably have something before a week has passed. Of course, if you have no patience, you can always go to a shelter, find out who's getting put down, and see if you can keep somebody alive. Although I don't know in Hawaii, do you have no-kill shelters or? Oh, Charlie, Netflix, have you seen Good Omens yet? Yes or no? Is it available for you yet? Because they came out with a season 2. Wrote a whole new book. for season 2. I gotta see it. Good Omens, Omens. A thing. Oh, Netflix and chill. I'm always in the mood to chill. It is excellent. It is excellent, excellent. I love it. It's my favorite. So go chill, darling. I'm so glad you're getting to spend some time at your grandma's. Your real grandma. Listen, I'm just an auntie. A $50 kitten sale this month, usually $75. Tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow. Well, Maui, there's your opportunity right now. That means you get a kitten that's been given all its shots, right? What about spay or neuter? Sleep well. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. See you tomorrow, honey. Mañana, mañana, there's always mañana. Oinkness has a friend over, so she's here and there. Baby mine, those sweet dreams. I like sweet dreams. I usually don't have many dreams anymore. I found that spiritual people, but really everybody needs love. We need love. If we don't get enough love, we don't grow right. Love is that water that makes us like green plants. We can't develop properly unless we have love. Now, we can't manufacture love, but we can buy it, like kittens and puppies. Something that we can cuddle, something warm and loving, something that spends time with us and loves us back. And cats and dogs are awesome for that. And they always know when they're rescued. So one will point itself out to you. It'll come up to you. It'll want you. And you'll know if that's the right one or not. Of course, when I see kittens, I want them all. Every single one of them, and the moms. But I've rescued many, kept many, had to say goodbye to many. So I'm at the no more goodbyes stage until it's my goodbye. Well, I got some good news today. Not that I'm going to run to take advantage of it or anything, but I did find out that if I need to go to a hospital, I can go to like this really good hospital. I'm not stuck with the local crappy hospital that I swear I'm never going to spend any time in except for emergency rooms. And after that, it's like, ship me down to Yale, New Haven. I'm not going to stay in this hospital, you assholes. It's dirty. They nearly killed me 3 times. No. If I enter a hospital, it's with the intention of living. So I want to go to a good hospital. So I did learn that this afternoon, which is why I did not come right back on after lunch this morning, afternoon. Because they had a meeting, excuse me, and they were answering our questions about stuff. Like, to pay for me being composted, I have to join a program when it's about $15 a month to make sure I've got enough money for a funeral of whatever kind I want. So I'm going to look up the composting, how much it costs, and see if I can start paying for that. Because I do not want to be cremated or buried. No. I also don't want anybody in my family being stuck with the bill. Oh, wait, what time is it? Oh. What? What? Preparing for the future? Everybody should do that eventually, and at my age, I'm doing it. Because I'm not good at remembering that kind of thing. So I found out you can be composted and just be sprinkled on the earth, anywhere, for fertilizer. Yes, you're. Night going. Why can you not remember simple? So anyway, yeah, composting. It's a new way to handle humans. It's the kindest method on the environment. It's a way to give back, whereas the other ways is completely wasted. If you're burned, you're just some calcium throw into your, minerals, throw in a garden. And most people are kind of grossed out by that idea, and they don't really want some dead person's ashes being in their garden. And you can't throw in the water, and you can't drop out of planes anymore. That's not no fuss, no muss. How do you maintain a dying body, an old dying body that doesn't actually die? It's not like a vampire that keeps replenishing its blood supply and is ever young. The humans don't go that way. Now, Maui, the truth is, if you were to drop dead today and you don't have a funeral policy and there's no family claiming your body, then the state would just take care of it. And what are they going to do? Bill your ashes? But you will most likely end up cremated in that case. But you don't have to worry about it. I mean, when you die, you let go of your body in all ways. You don't care anymore. So what does it matter? I mean, if you want to have somebody make a funeral for you and cry and gnash their teeth and say, "Oh, we miss him," fuck that. I don't care if you miss me or don't. I know I'll be missed by some people, and other people are not even going to notice. It's not going to change how fast or slow the world's turning. I'm just going to go home to the heart of love. Why would I be depressed about that? I just don't want to go any before I'm done doing some of the stuff I want to do. I have another book I want to write. I have lots of art I want to paint. So that's what matters to me at the moment. And the thing is, I don't believe anybody really wants to live forever, because these are the same people that can't think of what to do to entertain themselves. Like, I'm bored. I have nothing to do. I can't think of what to do. If you can't entertain yourself every single day and be excited about it, why would you want forever of days you're not excited about? Why would you want to live? Just sit there and look in the mirror and go, well, I look like no older than 100 now. Or, I stopped aging at 39. Yay, me. But I'm bored. I'm sick of the same people. I'm sick of the same bullshit. Humans. Yeah. That only lasts for about one day, and then they forget about you. Our life goes on. How long do you sit crying about dead people? I mean, a cat's different. You can cry for years. And that's different. That's a personal, your baby, your love. Other people, how long do you grieve them? My father, I grieved for 7 years. Then I hated him for 7 years. And then I just went to complete peace with him, and it was fine. But it took a long time for that. But that was an emotional thing as a parent. If I had a child, I would expect that I would be grieving my child's loss for probably the rest of my life, at least to some degree, if I couldn't let go and let them be their own spirit. But myself, I hope people are not sitting there for the rest of their lives missing me. Why would I curse people with that? I don't want people crying. I like to make people laugh. Well, you can hold on to them because they're not dead. You're not understanding that they're not dead. We don't die. You keep looking in the mirror and seeing that as your only reality. And that's a problem in creating your future, because that means you can't imagine something for the future. You're still in the past. You have to be able to look forward. Forward is where we create. Forward is where there's the fun. There is no fun in the past. It's done. It's gone. You cannot relive it and have that joy over and over and over again. It's like trying to remember a fucking orgasm. Once you have an orgasm, most men just roll over and fall asleep. I'm sure the next morning you're not walking around going, wow, that was one of the best ever. No, at your age, you've had plenty of orgasms. They start to blur together in terms of memory. In fact, you stop thinking about them. Once you have it, you feel better. The tension is released. The toxins have left the building, and you go on. And you can hold on to close people, but if you torture yourself over them, that's you. That's on you. They're not dead. You want to talk to them? Talk to them. If you are able to get yourself in an elevated attitude, an elevated mood, you will be able to feel them there. You'll connect with them. But when you go down and you're down on this level, you have nothing but this level stuff. You cannot get past the third dimension. You're just going to be stuck looking at everything that you can see like you're looking in the mirror. Usually when people don't want to die, it's because they're afraid. They're afraid that what they were brought up with is true. There's a hell. Well, there you go. I can think about my ex-husband. He was definitely worth it in that department. But you can't actually have that same sex experience at this point without that same person and the same timing at the same age. A lot of things come together to come together. And you know, I recommend sex as often as you can get it. Just don't, wear out body parts and make that everything that you're doing. Well, you do need to do something a little forward motion. And you can enjoy the memory of that sex, but that was years ago, because you have not been in Frankfurt, Germany in many years, and more than 20 years, isn't it? Like decades. You were at your youngest, you were in your best bodily shape, you were a young stud. Obviously, she had no problems with your height. Yeah, back in the Stone Age, or Stoned Age. Come on, Maui, you're not an idiot. You know what I'm getting at. There's no sense in wishing for forever if you cannot even conceive of what you can create in the next year. You can't focus on one thing yet. If you can focus, get your shit together up here, excuse me, to focus on something that you want to bring into your life. A new person, a new cat you can get. You can buy a cat. You cannot buy a relationship with another human. You can buy a car, but you cannot buy a relationship. But you can only buy a hooker. That's not a relationship. Well, it is for about whatever minutes long it takes for you to run out of money. The problem is, we are humans. We need affection. We need love. We need to give love to something, and we need to receive love. These are very human, normal things, but it's very difficult for most humans. But you don't have to live forever to have it and appreciate it. Nothing lives forever. I mean, it'd be awesome if it did when we love something, but you know, loving an animal in all of that joy, it also is, it comes with the understanding it's not going to be for forever. And you have to enjoy them for as long as you have them, because it's not forever. A lot of cats die at 11 years old, and that's that. A lot of them just can't seem to get past that. It's like an average age of getting kidney disease, things like that. But then some cats can be 20, 25. It all depends on how well you take care of them and their genetics that you're not going to know about when you buy it or find it. Love and coffee, kitty cat. But the love part, you're not ready to go out and get. You're not even ready to attract it, which is why you get it. You don't get it. You don't hunt it down. It's not like going to Starbucks. I'll take one coffee and one woman. If that size, thank you. It doesn't work that way. You know that. Although you might find love at the same place you have coffee. Love and coffee. All right. Is there a place you go for coffee that's not costing you a fortune, so you don't mind going there? I know you've learned how to make your own chai tea and coffee at home and save a bundle, and you did even better than the baristas. I get 88-year-old. Oh yeah, you got a old lady crush, yeah. Well, it's where you live. Because let's face it, most teenagers or young women are not interested in older guys unless they have a lot of dinero or they have a problem with daddy. So either way, you have a problem if they're too young. So yeah, that's the thing about that. Yeah, it's a weird little world we live in sometimes, but again, good. You have a travel mug, like a thermos mug. You can fix your coffee and take it somewhere to go meditate and look at nature. I'm sitting here without a paintbrush in my hand. What's wrong with me? It must be dinner time. 6:01. Oh my, I guess it is. Oh, that's good. So, how is your garden doing? What are you growing now? Oops. Yeah. I'm sorry, I only bought one avocado. I had one in my salad last night. It was so good. Now I want another one. Oh, good. Do you need to put a net or something around them to keep, you know, livestock away? Because mine did not last. I always lost them to possums and skunks, birds, deer. I hardly ever got a fresh strawberry from my own yard. Mushrooms? Oh, really? And what about their sense of smell? Does that help them? Because I can smell strawberries. So, let's see. Maui needs a kitty cat. You want an adult or a baby? A baby needs a lot more of your attention and affection. That might be good for you. Especially when you're home a lot. They need you there. They kind of freak out. But you can also train your cat to go with you places as your, what's the word now? Companion animal, kissing. Then maybe you need to go pick up on that kitten sale. Find one that loves you. Make sure it's healthy. Do they do any of the spaying and neutering? You need to find out what's the deal with that. Because it'll live longer if you get it fixed as soon as the vet is willing to do it. Usually about 5 months. And it'll stay more like a kitten. If it's a male, then actually you should probably have a female, but you do need to get her spayed before her first heat if you can, and she will live a lot longer and happier. And because I noticed that the females bond better with the men, human men, and the males, they love us girls. All my best cats for me, I had wonderful females. I loved them, like Tasha and Moisha. They were my babies, but the ones that bonded most with me were Boy and Manushka, Leo, of course. Yeah, the men, the male cats with the females and female cats with men. Oh, wonderful. That sounds like a great thing to do, Maui. It sounds like a real great thing to do. You can see which ones you want, you know. Check them out. Sit down and play with them. They're not going to force you to take one over another. They let you get to meet them. They have one of those cat rooms where you can sit down and they let the kittens run around and see which one you get turned on by. I know Purina has a cat it's a glass cat house for it's out on the grass. The cat's going back in through a cat door. But humans are let in and they can sit on the grass outside and the kittens and cats run around and they can pick out what they want. Yeah, that's awesome. Why don't you do that? That would do your heart good. Give you something to focus on besides your head. Get out of your own head. It's not doing good right now, man. It's just confusing. Now, anytime you want anything, this is your network. Alright, you got a network all your own. Very much like this one. You can't have a thought without everybody in your network knowing it. So when you're thinking forward, everybody jumps into action from wherever they are to try and aid and abet you to achieving your goal or your want. So you say you want a kitten, start imagining what it might be like, imagining what it might look like, imagining things you can do for it, imagine training it. Oh, in fact, you might want to get started on that special kitty litter, the one that tells you if something's wrong by the color of its urine spot. Pretty litter, that's it. And it lasts so long, it's more economical. It's like looks like a white silica thing. That way there's no dust for them to inhale, and when they pee, if they have this, that, or the other, the white changes color. The word off. Off. Oh, finally. Anyway, you have power, way more power than you're able to accept. So, when you're ready, start using it. It's all in how you feel. So I'm going to go now, and I'm going to fix myself food and get to bed at a reasonable time so I can get up here early in the morning. I've got a reading to do for someone at 10. So, sweet dreams, my dears. Have a good rest of the day, and I will see you mañana.